mean to you to become a college football Hall of Famer and join the other 22 senior players in the Hall of Fame?
It honestly hasn't even hit that I'm in the hall. Like, I mean, it's unfathomable. I'm just like still taken aback. Like, nah, I'm gonna wait for Ashton Kutcher to come out somewhere and say you're punked or something because it's just so unreal. When you play the game, you don't. I mean, I know I didn't play it to. I played it for the love of the game. I didn't play it to win any awards or be in the College Hall of Fame, but I mean, it came because I guess my play exemplified of being selected. But I never played the game for recognition. I just wanted to hit people and laugh, honestly. So, but I guess it paid off for me. But this is an honor and such a blessing, and I'm so fortunate for sure.
What was your first reaction when you heard the news? How did you find out?
Um, I don't know if it was via social media or I got contacted, I think by Mr. Steve. I think Mr. Steve reached out and said, "Hey, you're getting in." So still an unbelievable call because I was like, this didn't happen. I got called and said I was going in, and then a couple of minutes later, I think a tweet came by and I seen it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, that's how I found out.
What brought you to OU? What did you see in their program that made you want to play there?
Uh, Oklahoma was a diamond in the rough when I got there. You knew. I mean, honestly, I didn't know a damn thing about Oklahoma's history when I got there. The reason why I went to Oklahoma was my good buddy that I went to high school with. He was going to go to Stanford, and I was going to go to UCLA. We were going to have a friendly rivalry. But he tore his knee up, and Stanford took back his scholarship. And my aunt at the time worked at OU, and she told the coaches about myself and Damien. And when I talked to them, I said, I'll come to your university if you offer my buddy a scholarship too. And they offered him a scholarship, and I kept my word. That's how I got to OU.
Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it did.
What do you think? What's your most memorable moment? Was it the championships? Was it being with the team? Just your friends?
Honestly, the most memorable moments, yeah, I mean, everybody would love for you to say yes when you win the national championship, but that was a special moment of my Sooner career. But the moments that I cherish most are the ones that when we went on bowl visits, we used to go visit the different hospitals, and that's what stood out most for me. Going to go meet those young children, that were struggling at best in the hospitals, and spending time with them just to, try to impact their lives for the better and their families. That's what meant the most to me.
While you were at OU, who do you think had the most impact on you as a player and as a person?
There's a lot. First, I would say Miss Teresa Turner. She was basically a counselor for us, student counselor. And then there was Jerry Schmidt, strength conditioning coach. Did not like him at all, but I sure the hell appreciated him come game time. And then there was Mike Stoops, my coach, my defensive backs coach. Same thing. Didn't really like him at the beginning, but loved him at the end. And then, Coach Bob, loved my teammates. I mean, everybody, honestly, the encouragement for me was not letting my teammates down. So every time I stepped on the football field, I just wanted to, complete the task at hand.
You mentioned Coach Stoops, joining him in the Hall of Fame. What does that mean to you?
It's pretty cool. Like, I don't, it's hard to talk about myself or even picture myself in this type of atmosphere because I literally like to be behind the scenes. I mean, if I can be a nobody, I would be a nobody, just because I just don't care about the attention. But to be able to share this, like I'm the 23rd person, from Sooner, so that is awesome in itself. So I mean, my other 22 compadre Sooner guys, it's awesome to be able to say that I'm in an elite class with them, and to be able to be Coach Stoops' first from his lineage of players is pretty special.
What was it? What do you think made you so successful?
Getting cussed out every day, I would say, from Mike Stoops. No, honestly, my desire to want to be great. Seriously, Coach Mike Stoops pushed me to limits that I didn't know that I can reach, and which each task that he put on my plate, I wanted to show him that I can do it. And then it just translated to the football field, and I would say he was the one of the key factors of me even being in this position, because he pushed me.
I gotta ask about it. What was that Superman play like against Texas? Did you just kind of in the moment just leap?
The Superman play, I'm happy that I made it, because if I didn't, Mike Stoops, he told me not to jump before going out on the field. And I was like, all right, Coach, I'm not going to jump. But I knew, but in film preparation, and I knew that Brett Robin, the running back, he was at best 5'6". At best, he was 5'6". So I know he wasn't going to try to hit me high, and he was going to go low. The ball was on the 2-yard line. I knew I had to come out quick because I knew they were blitzing. So honestly, it's just one of those instinct things, like, you know what? I know my coach said one thing, but I mean, I'm kind of curious George over here. I'm going to, venture out and see what happens. And it worked out. I still got cussed out for the play, though, even though it's probably going to go down in Oklahoma lore you see it every year. Every year, OU Texas, you see that play, which is amazing. But it was a play that was not supposed to happen because my coach told me not to jump.
Did you even realize when the catch caught it, or were you just kind of around?
I knew Teddy had caught it when I was falling down to the ground, and once I hit the ground, I looked over to the right, and I seen Teddy with the ball in one hand and his finger up in the other hand, and I was like, all right, yeah, we got this game. Yeah.
Does Chris Sims ever, hit you up and be like, oh, man?
It's funny because Chris, I want to say he got drafted by Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and during one of the games, before games start, players are out in the field, throwing the ball around, stretching, and Chris literally came up to me and was like, you hurt my draft status. And I damn near cussed him out, like, you hurt your own draft status, because you couldn't win big games, and but I found that kind of funny that he said, I'm the sole reason that his draft stock, went down. But yeah, and he said a controversial comment yesterday too on the, not controversial. I mean, he said that TCU didn't deserve to be in the CFB, and he says that I want to say he said the SEC school should have been in, and I kind of went at him, he didn't respond, but I told him, I said, that's, I was like, you need to get that hate out your heart, because TCU, they had a phenomenal season this year, and I said, basically you bashing a conference that you didn't do shit in, I'm questioning that. Like, how can you bash a conference that you ain't do nothing in? So, but whatever. Chris, TCU deserves to be in. Just because y'all didn't win anything when you were there. Don't hate.
That's good. And then, Coach Venables has the team in the Cheez-It Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm happy they made a bowl. Jeez. It's kind of biting fingernails, trying to see if they're going to get in.
How do you think they'll do against Florida State?
You know what? They have flashes of showing that they're going to get over that hump, and then there's moments where you're scratching your head like, what team am I watching? So, I mean, honestly, guess what? You can ask him tonight. He'll be here. You can ask them that question, but I don't know. I mean, I'm always going to root for my school, and I'm always want them to do well. But it's just one of those deals. We'll see what happens. Will they be able to compete with them? Yes. Will they do it for all 4 quarters? I don't know, because they haven't done that, the last couple of games.
And what are you looking forward to most just tomorrow night when you get officially inducted?
I'm looking forward to meeting some of the other guys like Crabtree. I haven't talked to LeVar in forever. Champ, so being able to see some of those guys, link up with Andrew again, Luck. So I'm looking forward to just meeting the guys and just talking shop.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay to ask you a question?
Yes, Smitty.
Oh, you're the best. Right. Tell me what this sport has meant to you. You started out as a young kid playing this game.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be this game that ended up transforming your life in so many ways. What has the sport of football meant to you?
Honestly, the sport of football it's meant everything to me, because it started off as me being a young 8-year-old playing Pop Warner football in the PAL, Police Athletic League, and I was able to take that childhood dream at 8 years old, and with each and every year I kept on chipping away at my goal. And then I went from Pop Warner to high school. Pop Warner, all through Pop Warner was middle school. Then middle school I went to high school. And then my freshman year was like, the coaches told me we were the worst high school football, first freshman high school football team they have ever had. We won 1 game. It was very, very tragic. And it was tough because my 40 time was a 5.4 in the 40 in my freshman year. And then that year I did track, and I brought it down to a 4.8. I did long jump and triple jump, and I was just more so working on explosiveness. But the life lessons that I learned from Pop Warner in high school and college and NFL, they're cemented in my foundation of who I am now. Hard work, never quit, determination, problem solving, being able to communicate with people. I know parents, are hesitant of letting their kids play when they're young, but don't rob them from those essential skills that they learn from playing organized football. It teaches you so much, and I'm a business owner today, and I still use things that I learned back when I was 8 years old to now. And football is a great. It was a great outlet for me to release, internal problems that I was battling as a kid. Football was able to help me to release a lot of that, and so football meant a lot. I mean, football was my safety net. Football was my safety place. Everything. I was comfortable in the midst of chaos when I was playing football, and I felt at peace. And so, it was football was meant for me, and I was meant for football.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.